Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news all right. Packers fans, hold on to your hats because the NFL offseason just got a whole lot more interesting. Rumors are swirling that the Tennessee Titans, currently sitting at a disappointing 4-11 with a cap space of around $19 million, might be making some bold moves. And the centerpiece of these speculations, none other than their star defensive tackle, Jeffrey Simmons. Reports from trusted insiders like Adam Schefter suggest that the Titans are considering trading Simmons, a player who's become one of the most disruptive forces along the defensive line, in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, plus a backup defensive tackle from Green Bay. Yes, you heard that right. This potential trade could be a game-changer, especially if it unfolds in the coming weeks, likely in January or even during the offseason. Now, let's break down why this makes so much sense for Green Bay. First, Simmons isn't just any interior lineman. He's a freak of nature on the field. His ability to wreck opposing offensive lines, to collapse pockets with relentless pass rushes, and to stuff the run makes him one of the league's top defensive tackles. In 2025, according to PFF grades, he boasts an overall score of 75-0, which places him firmly in the top 10 among all interior defensive linemen. But it's his pass rush that truly sets him apart, a jaw-dropping 99 grade, the highest among DTs with 10 sacks so far this season, leading the league in that category. He also has 37 solo tackles, 9 assists, and pressures that total 40, with a pass rush win rate of 19. 3% again, the best among his peers. His career stats are just as impressive, over 40. 5 sacks, with consistent elite grades over multiple seasons, including 3 Pro Bowls and 259 tackles. Simmons has maintained a relatively low injury profile, missing only 2 games in 2025, and his production compares favorably to players like Chris Jones, who is considered among the best in the league at interior rushers. His presence on the field can dramatically boost a defense's sack total, turning a good unit into a true game wrecker. So why would the Titans consider such a move? Well, they're in a bit of a rebuild mode after a tough season. Their offense has been underwhelming, averaging just 280 yards per game, and they're motivated by the need to free up cap space, about $10 million, to pursue a fresh start at quarterback. The Titans are also looking to shed some of their stagnant offensive pieces and focus on building a more competitive roster in the coming years. Trading Simmons, their best defensive player, would be a signal they're serious about retooling, especially with the NFL Draft approaching and the possibility of acquiring a high-value pick in 2026. Now, for the Packers, this kind of move could be nothing short of transformative. Imagine Simmons anchoring the defensive line in Green Bay, turning the front 7 into a nightmare for opposing offenses. His presence alone would elevate the entire unit, especially after a season where the Packers struggled at times to generate consistent pressure and stop the run. Simmons' ability to disrupt plays, with over 8 sacks projected this season if he joins Green Bay, could be the difference-maker in key moments, particularly during the playoffs. His addition could help transform the Packers' defense from a middle-of-the-road unit into a top 10 force, boosting their chances of making a deep postseason run. Statistically, adding Simmons would be a huge upgrade. In the current scenario, Green Bay has been allowing roughly 115 rushing yards per game, which is middle of the pack at best. With Simmons anchoring the middle, that number could drop to around 95 yards per game, a significant improvement. His pass rush win rate of 19. 3% would increase the pressure rate on quarterbacks, pushing the number from around 30% to nearly 38%. This increased pressure would lead to more sacks, more turnovers, and a higher likelihood of forcing negative plays against some of the league's best offenses. Furthermore, Simmons' impact wouldn't be limited to just sacks. His ability to clog running lanes and command double teams opens opportunities for other players to shine. This would allow linebackers and edge rushers to get cleaner looks at the quarterback, amplifying the overall effectiveness of Green Bay's defense. It's not just about individual stats, but about elevating the entire unit's performance. Additionally, Simmons' presence would help fill a critical need for depth along the front seven, a position that's been shaken up due to injuries and inconsistent play this season. His addition could be what solidifies the Packers' defensive identity going forward. Looking at the playoff picture, the numbers become even more compelling. Simmons, if part of the roster, could boost the Packers' odds of winning big games. Imagine him applying pressure on top-tier quarterbacks during the postseason, increasing the team's chances of forcing turnovers and making game-changing plays. In simulations, adding a player of his caliber boosts Green Bay's Super Bowl odds significantly, from plus 1,200 to plus 600, making them a more serious contender. His ability to stop the run would also be crucial, especially against teams that rely heavily on ground game strategies during the playoffs. The Packers have shown flashes of defensive potential this season, but adding a player like Simmons could push them over the edge, making them a true force to reckon with come January. Now, it's worth mentioning that such a trade wouldn't come without its challenges. Acquiring Simmons would likely require a sizable draft capital investment, but the Packers have shown in recent years that they're willing to make bold moves if it means elevating the team. Plus, with a cap hit around $10 million, Green Bay would need to be strategic in how they structure the deal to keep their books in order. But considering the potential upside, it's a move that could pay huge dividends in the long run. Simmons' contract runs through 2025, and if the Packers can negotiate an extension, they could lock in a dominant interior presence for years to come. This move also echoes the kind of bold, aggressive approach that has worked well for teams like the Rams with Aaron Donald or the Buccaneers with Vita V. Bringing in a player of Simmons' caliber would send a message to the rest of the league that Green Bay is serious about contending at the highest level and willing to make big moves to get there. It's a risk, sure, but that's how champions are built. And with the Packers currently sitting at 9-6, fighting for a playoff spot and with their eyes set on a deep postseason run, adding a player like Simmons could be just the injection of talent and energy they need. Of course, the fans would love to see how this plays out. Would the Titans really part with such a disruptive force? Could Green Bay turn this opportunity into a franchise-defining move? Only time will tell, but one thing, as for sure, the NFL offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and the Packers are right at the heart of it. If this trade happens, it could redefine the NFC North and reshape the playoff landscape for years to come. The Packers are always looking to build a championship-winning team, and acquiring Jeffrey Simmons could be that bold step toward another Super Bowl appearance. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, fans should keep a close eye on how this unfolds. The NFL rumor mill is always buzzing, and such a move would send shockwaves through the league. For the Packers, it's not just about adding a star. It's about making a statement that they're ready to compete and dominate on both sides of the ball. This potential trade could be the key to unlocking their full potential, especially on defense, which has been a work in progress this season. With Simmons in the fold, the Packers' front line would be transformed into one of the most feared in the league, giving them a serious edge in close games and playoff battles. And of course, the fans' excitement is palpable. Imagine the energy in Lambeau Field if Simmons were to suit up for Green Bay. The roar of the crowd, the belief that the team is making moves to contend for another title, that's what makes football so special. It's about the passion, the history, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. If this trade comes to fruition, it will be remembered as one of the boldest and most impactful decisions in recent Packers history. So in conclusion, whether this deal materializes or not, it's a clear sign that the NFL offseason is heating up, and the Green Bay Packers are at the forefront of these exciting developments. With a talented core led by Jordan Love, a defense hungry for improvement, and the potential addition of a game-changing player like Jeffrey Simmons, the future looks bright. The Packers are always about building for the long term, and this kind of move could be just what they need to finally close the gap and chase that elusive second Super Bowl title. Fans, get ready because the coming weeks could bring some of the most thrilling news in Packers history, and we'll be here to bring it all to you first. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us, and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.